Okay, good afternoon. Sheridan, thank you for being here today.
And thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, it's incredible. I didn't see you like in 5 years, and when I meet you, you already have uh, two new projects,
Hmm.
probably even more, right?
Right, many more.
Yeah. So you brought two of them with you today,
Yes.
and one of them is Bio Fashionista. I don't know if anybody can see
Mm.
that,
Yeah.
but it's about fashion.
Yes.
Okay, so what got you interested in fashion?
Okay, so
You're
my
not the designer.
no, my family goes way back in San Francisco
Yeah.
selling kimonos.
Oh,
O-
that's something new I didn't know
Okay.
about you.
So here's the history. We are one of the oldest Japanese American families to run a business over 100 years. We just celebrated our 120th year in California.
Yeah,
And through war and depression and everything, we survived, which
several
is
generations.
so. My grandfather came from Nagano, Japan, where the Olympics were held in 1893.
Wow.
So if you remember, the 1882, the Chinese Exclusion Act was cut off, and then the Japanese government negotiated with Congress to bring in cheap Japanese labor to replace the cheap Chinese labor.
Oh,
So my and if you remember from history, the Japan had a war with the Sino-China War, the Japanese-China War in 1894 and 5.
hmm.
So my grandfather was 17, and he said, "Well, I have a choice. I can go to California or fight in Manchuria."
So he went to California.
So he's a draft dodger basically, and all the young men his age, those all came to California because they had nothing. They were poor because they were second
So
sons.
you're born and raised here?
So my grandfather was born in Japan.
Oh,
My father was born, was actually born in Japan because my
hmm,
grandmother went back.
hmm.
Okay, so well, anyway, so my grandfather was a houseboy up in Pacific Heights for 10 years to save money, and then he opened a shop right there at the gate in Chinatown. So south of the gate was Japantown. There were three, and north of the gate was Chinatown. So he sold small Western clothes for Chinese and Japanese because the clothes was too Western clothes was too big, still too
Oh,
big,
yeah.
you know.
They always
And
make like bags.
yeah, they look like big like sacks basically.
Yeah,
So he
that's
sold all the small and on the Chinese and the Japanese newcomers loved it because they actually fit.
they fit the
Yeah.
tinier.
So for example, today I usually wear Italian design because the Italians cut thinner.
Yeah,
Those Americans are all like boxes to me.
yeah, yeah.
So
Me
we
too. When I came here, I say well, they don't know how to dress.
no, no. And then if I use on the small end, I used to have to often go to the boys section because the adults too big because it goes to extra large. So anyway, so what happened is my grandfather opened a shop, and then
Hmm.
now when the picture brides came, the men raised enough money and they could write home to Japan because it was against the law to marry anybody white or anybody.
Mm.
Miscegenation laws, anti-miscegenation laws. So all the men had money, they would send pictures of themselves, just like online dating today. Usually 10 years when they were younger, like in their 30s. So many of these guys were 40 years old or 50 even, and he would go for 18-year-old girls back home. So there was a comedy at the port when the picture brides came in, they were all dressed in kimonos, 18-year-old, 20-year-olds meeting these 40 to 50-year-old guys who faked the pictures of their old pictures.
Mm.
And many of the women ran away.
Wow.
They said, we don't want him. And so my grandfather was really entrepreneurial because, he needed money. He had no merchandise almost. So he would buy shirts and then put them out there. But then as soon as he sold it, he ran down to the wholesaler and bought it, new ones. And they had huge boxes. And everybody goes, oh, you're very wealthy. He goes, they're all empty boxes,
Oh,
just like Hollywood. But anyway, so what he did, he would tell the Japanese woman who would come in beautiful kimonos, and the streets were filled with horse and dirt and mud, and he said, no, you can't save your kimonos for weddings and formal events. So I will help you. So they would come into the store. He would bring them up from the port to our shop right there at Chinatown gates, and then they would come out with Victorian hats, big big gowns, Western boots for San Francisco. So we had instant Americanization. they'd go in Japanese, come out Americanized, and the kimonos in the box.
Mm.
So he sold Western clothes and kimonos for ceremonies.
Did you take over the business? No.
No, my older sister runs it now.
Oh, okay.
So what happened is that, so my grandfather was here for the 1906 earthquake,
Mm-hmm.
and he was lucky to survive because the fire building next door, brick, went the other way and killed the Italian family. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. And he ran to the top of Russian Hill and watched the whole city go up.
So you still have that business going
Oh,
on?
we still have business, yes. So
Yeah.
if you go to the website, actually, it's called it's no Nichibe Busan, and
You sell kimonos?
it still sell kimonos and mostly Japanese items now, but it's nbstore.com, Nichibe nbstore.com.
Did you notice that the belt, the thick belt, is now in fashion?
Right.
Like the First Lady of France was wearing a belt
Yes.
in her last
Yes.
appearance.
Right.
So because and then who else was wearing a belt? The First Lady of America was wearing a belt, but not as thick.
Yeah.
But wearing a belt is in fashion now. So
Interesting.
but if you these pictures were taken recently.
No, this is AI.
Oh, this is not the
this
real
is
people?
no, this is ChatGPT. So if you look at the back, you have it. What I just wrote in words, and I just said, show me kimonos of different textiles,
And they showed you that?
like different like Western, Indian, Mexican textiles. Okay.
And they did that
And automatically kicked that out in less than 10 seconds.
with the models.
Yeah, everything in there.
Everything in there with the AI?
Yeah, AI. I did that a year ago.
Oh my God, looks like real people.
Yeah, and I was shocked because I said, "My God, that's better than the picture I would have taken."
Yeah.
Um,
It saves you a lot of time.
oh, because I mean, I'm a writer, not an artist, right? Now that said, I mean, of course, artists would like to do it, but you know, when you're a writer, oftentimes it's pretty expensive. I've used
So
artists.
this as long as you know how to use AI, you can do it.
Yes. So I use AI only for the covers because I'm not an artist, but for the books I don't use it because AI just regurgitates and remixes.
Yeah.
So it's plagiarizing all content.
Yeah.
And many publishers now don't accept AI text.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know I type in my stories after I write the books. It's like a Hollywood rerun, a sequel. It's very predictable, kind of boring, frankly.
But the models are not Japanese models.
No, and
They're Western women.
they have Western, Japanese, everybody, because what I said is when our family store sells to everybody. And since World War II, most of our customers, maybe 95%, are not Japanese Americans. They're not Japanese. They're all like Caucasian, Black, Latino, everybody, foreigners coming in, and they all want to wear their kimonos. So in San Jose, we opened our store in San Francisco in 1907, in Japantown, 1910.
Yeah, yeah.
My father grew up there. And then 1948, my uncle came back from the war working for MacArthur as a soldier. And then he took over the San Francisco store. And then my father opened the San Jose store in 1948. So we celebrated our 75th year. And it's still open. And the children in San Francisco didn't want to take over their lawyers and nurses, so they shut it down in Japantown.
Okay.
Where the kimochi, we sold it to kimochi kind of.
Okay, so those fashionistas
Right.
are people who create fashion, right?
Yes.
And they create to their own taste.
Yes.
And do they sell it online or in stores?
Okay. They sell it online, in stores, at pop-ups, street festival, everywhere now. And I got this idea, and I was thinking, I wrote books about, kimonos. I said, oh, that's kind of boring. I said, and then there was that one woman who works for Louis Vuitton, and she has that,
the belt.
but the red kimonos,
Oh,
modern
the
street
whole
kimonos.
kimono. Okay.
I actually saw one on Union Street, the first sighting of a street kimono.
Really?
With that famous Japanese artist who does the dots. So I said, Oh, and most people don't wear kimonos because, for ceremonies or Bon Festival in July. So you can't use them every day. So what I'm beginning to see now are people and young people who like Japanese culture. They're designing their own kimonos. Like we have our one of our at San Jose store, one of our young people designed a San Francisco Giants kimono.
Mm.
And it's all the materials that the
So,
Giants.
so how did she do that, Carrie? I know you said that she took old the San Francisco Giant t-shirts.
Yeah, she really went to the store, bought all the Giants materials,
Yeah,
and you just go to this Giant store.
yeah,
She bought all of it, cut it all up, and then sewed a beautiful kimono
with
and
giants.
with the Giants. And I'm
It's
going,
like two cultures
yeah,
clashing.
yeah. And it was brilliant, and everybody was going, "Wow, where do I buy it?" And he says, "It's only one of a kind." And I said right off the bat, "Bingo! It's all about the fashion design, not the culture, the kimono onis or
Hmm.
Japanese." And then I'm beginning to see, if you go, you can type in black or African kimonos. I did
Hmm.
it on Google
Oh,
Images.
really?
And then I said, wait a minute. And they show all these beautiful African models wearing the
The
African
long dresses?
all their African traditional textiles.
Oh, okay.
But they're
Yeah.
all designed as kimonos.
Hmm.
And the African women are sitting like Japanese, but it's African textiles. And I said, that's interesting. And then I read an article where right now we have fast fashion, right? It's destroying the industry, both the environment and pollution, and it's destroying industry, the fashion industry in
It's disposable
Africa.
clothing.
It's all this fast
It's
throw
all
away.
it's all this
It's,
throwaway.
this is terrible. And so what happened? I read an article about an African woman who said, what do we do? And then she said, "Oh, I'll just use the old fashioned and just make really nice." And then she sold it in Paris for like $10,000.
You mean she went to see a private person and
No,
sold it?
no, what she did, and I thought it was brilliant. She took this old, all the old fashioned, like fast fashion, old fashioned, different types of materials, textiles.
Hmm.
And then what she did is she said, "Oh, I'm gonna make a really nice like evening gown and all that, but African style."
Ah,
And then people, "Where'd you get that?" Because, "Well, I made it." And then said, "You should sell it." So she began selling it. In the article, she said, "Oh, I'm in London and Paris at the haute couture places, selling these things that are free, all the materials free, so like $10,000 to $20,000 because it's only one of a kind and they're gorgeous."
but she's a good designer,
Well, it's all about being a fashion
a
designer.
fashion
Okay.
designer.
So immediately I said, "Oh my goodness, you're separating the fashion design and from the materials." So you could use any materials. You don't have to use kimono materials. In
Hmm.
fact, she wasn't doing kimonos. She was just doing modern Western haute couture.
And
Using
how many of these people exist now
There's
who,
actually quite a few in there. It's a booming new industry. Okay, so what's
oh,
happening?
a
There's
lot
a
of people
lot
know
of
how to do it?
what's happening. I think 3 or 4 years ago, Copenhagen held the first regenerative fashion show and conference.
Oh,
And I looked at it, and the Danes are into cyclical circular economy,
hmm,
zero waste, and they know that right now the fashion industries generate huge amounts of waste, and it's filling up
tons and tons.
everything. So what they said, to encourage everybody around the world, they had competitions. They had all the fashion designers from around the world designing two things. They use existing textiles, old clothes. They use plastics for certain types of buttons and things,
Yeah.
even metals. And then now they've added biomaterials, and that's new. It's new and installed. So the old biomaterials are like the traditionals, like silk, um, silk, cotton, in those, not rayon.
Is there a website where they sell their
If you go now,
creation?
oh no, there are now. So I'm beginning to see it pop up. It's recent.
Is it your startup, the fashionistas?
No, it's a novel where I explore how these four
Women?
crazy woman designers in Japantown,
Yeah.
and they're looking for work and they can't get a job and
Okay.
and
So
then
they do something.
so they said, no, we'll just get all the used stuff. And you know, there's vintage stores now that
Yeah.
are all over San Francisco. We used to call it used
So they
clothing.
buy the material
Okay,
there.
but the way to say it's haute couture is that you take your old stuff
Yeah.
and
And
you call it vintage and you add it, you price it 2 or 3 times.
oh,
Okay, and that's big right now all over the city.
but they get the material in those
Yeah.
secondhand stores.
Yeah, well, they usually now, if you go to the places, they have a lot of seamstresses and people who sew, and they take an old jacket, whatever, and then they add some nice
Something in
fashion
it.
on it, and then they price it 3 times or more.
Yeah, because it's unique.
Well, because it's one of a kind, right? Unique.
Yeah.
And so it's not this vintage. This was old clothes. It's unique. It's a work of art. And now what I'm watching now is I'm seeing a lot of artists who are trying to make a living, and they're trying to sell paintings, and they can't make any money. And then you have T-shirts, okay? And now what's happening, I saw it first on kimonos. They had all these white or nice color, pastel colors, and they print their art onto it. That's becoming really big now because it's hard to sell a painting. So I'm seeing all these paintings
On the fabric.
on the fabric. And I was totally blown away 2 months ago, or no, last fall, during the Giants playoffs. And I was walking down the street, and there was a big Mexican-American guy who was wearing this jacket, and on the back with the lowriders, but it was really elegant. It was like beautifully stitched in gold and everything else. And so I had to go up and I said, "Sir, I'm sorry, but this is the most beautiful jacket I've ever seen. Where'd you get it?" He goes,
I made it?
He says, no, in LA, there's this one artist,
Oh.
and he's brilliant. And he's beginning to
make
all
unique.
these unique Latino themes, like the quinceanera or like Day of the Dead, things that are meaningful to the Latino. So he does that, and he says, "I love this artist, so I bought it. It's expensive, though. You know, literally, it's like $500,000.
And then he can resell it even more.
Oh no, because it's one of a kind.
Ah.
So he said, "Oh yeah, people do that now. So they buy it, they like it, and they said after a season, they put it on there, and they could make money, double or triple the price because it's one of a kind." And I said, "I didn't know that." He goes, "Oh no, people are doing it. Didn't you know that?" And I said, "No, I don't know
They
that."
don't do replication.
No, they do one of a kind.
One.
Okay, and that's worth more. So then I'm beginning to see on Shopify and different places now, there's 3 trends coming right now.
Yeah.
There's the artists putting their prints and designs onto fabrics, printing them on.
Okay.
There are others who are stitching clothes onto it, like nice silk, and they're cutting and making things like dragons or whatever, and they're stitching onto it, and they're using gold and all, but it's a unique piece of work of art. And then now the new ones, the biomaterials, which is what they introduced in Copenhagen, where it's not, besides this silk and cotton, they're beginning to grow the food in regenerative gardens. And I said, what kind of, this is, mushrooms are really big right now. Hemp is, of course, going through the roof because hemp grows really fast. So I'm noticing that there in San Francisco, there's a lot of women now, and I go to the street shows, and I'm beginning to see more where hemp everything, hemp gowns, hemp jackets, hemp bags, hemp like hats, everything 100% hemp. And I say, "Why do you do that?" He goes, "Oh, because it's cheap and it grows fast."
Oh yeah,
You know?
but you know, because you are a serial entrepreneur, right?
Right.
And are you gonna do a startup, like a website where people sell their unique stuff?
Well, actually, I'm not sure I want to get into the fashion merchandising business. Okay,
Oh.
I'm a writer and a screenwriter
Yeah.
and a filmmaker. So one thing I would like to do is
First, you wrote a book.
write the novel, because you have to have the IP and a story. And then the second,
The story is fiction,
it's
right?
all fiction.
Oh, it's
all
all
made
fiction. Oh, okay.
Everybody goes, "Where's that?" I said, "I totally made it up."
Okay.
Okay.
The names, everything is fiction.
Everything's fiction. And everybody goes, "Who's that?" I said, "I made it up." And they don't exist. Nothing
Okay.
exists.
Okay, it's all in your head.
It's all in my head. And that's what writers do. We just make up stuff. So now the thing is, this one, it's the Morioka family in Japantown, and they've got a really funny history because they're all four crazy woman designers.
Yeah.
Right. The
Yeah.
mom was a runaway renegade from a Kyoto kimono family going back to the 1600s, and she ran away because she doesn't like. So she comes and marries a guy here, and then they have three daughters, and then the oldest one, Mari, is a punk gothic motorcycle rider with leathers and all, and she doesn't like moms. She hates kimonos, but she's a fashion designer and does really cool like goth and leather and all that. Okay, and then the other daughter is a cosplay, J-pop, K-pop, and she's into like anime and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And mom goes, God, that's very silly. He goes, but that's what young people want, J-pop, K-pop. They don't want kimonos. Nobody wears kimonos. And so mom, she's finding a mom. And then the young one does AI, virtuality. She's a cow. And she's doing AI avatars with cool fashion.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're all crazy fashion designers or fashionistas, but they don't like kimonos.
Oh.
And mom's trying to get them to take over the business.
Oh.
So what happens is a big fight between them, and each one's trying to launch their own startup company out of their home studio because they have a home studio.
Yeah.
So mom's got her kimonos here. The other daughter's got her punk rock with her buddies coming in, motorcycle people.
Yeah.
And then the mom goes, "You're scaring all of my customers with those beautiful ladies in kimonos." Very traditional, and then you got these motorcycle guys coming out, and then it scares everybody away.
Okay.
And
so what are you gonna do out of this fiction book? It's not a startup, right?
Well,
it might be a movie. It could be a movie.
Well, yeah, that's one goal is to first I'll probably use AI to do the storyboard.
Okay.
Because we use these storyboards, and then I could then use the video Sora to do short animated feature movies of this.
Oh, okay.
Like, just one or two
you can
pages.
do videos now with
Right.
AI.
Right. So what thought I had is I could just take each chapter, because I'm a screenwriter, so I write each chapter is directly to screen. Because I think in visual. So I could take chapter 1, just shoot that as a short, then chapter 2, a short, and then another short, and then the whole thing off a feature movie. Right? Just one step at a time.
And then you can present it at the festival or something.
Right, just as a regular feature movie.
Yeah, just like as an AI produced movie.
Right.
And you're the producer.
I'm the producer, writer, director, everything. But I'll probably hire musicians.
Okay.
Because, music is half the story.
Yes.
So then I would hire a musician, and then we do the soundtracks, and then you overlap, right? Just like they do in Hollywood. But it's all indie though, and you can do it at home on your computer. That's the scary part.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Nobody will know though. I mean, except those who have a good eye for it. But you can produce your whole show on AI, I heard.
Oh no, you can. Already you can do it now.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem I see is that AI is good, but the problem is, remember, it's plagiarizing everything. So I think
it does it from existing database.
Other people's stories. So it's like Superman 25, it's great because it's got Superman. But
it's better to have something unique though.
Right. So there are some AIs which they only use your own content. So I think I just use my own to not plagiarize.
Okay.
And avoid lawsuits.
Oh, of course.
That's the key one. Because there are going to be a lot of lawsuits for copying other people's stories.
Yeah.
And
this is copyrighted.
Right. That's mine's, when you publish your own by law, you're copyrighted. Now, the key and the reason why you write is that it's copyright.
Oh, yeah, it is copyrighted.
Right. It's copyright.
2025.
Right.
It's a brand new book.
Right. Whereas if I were to use somebody else, I have to get the copyright, and it's expensive, and the lawyers and all this, and it's easier to just write your own story.
Sure.
Right. And then the trouble with AI, okay, now publishers are refusing AI written stories. That happened a year and a half ago.
Because it's pleasure.
Yeah. So now there was the sci-fi publishers were getting huge numbers just about 2 years ago of AI written sci-fi, and they stopped accepting it.
So this is a unique story.
Right.
And to make it interesting, is it a love story? What is it?
Well, this one is a comedy.
Oh, it's a comedy.
Because
Okay.
so it's sort of like Tales of the City, but
Okay.
today, not 50 years ago.
Okay.
And it's also Full House. You know the Danny Tanner here. You know that famous television series.
Okay, it's a Full House kind
It's
of
like a
thing.
Full House
Yeah.
where you have crazy uncle, friends, family, and all that.
You have all the characters.
And I have a lot of characters. The mayor, and it's all politically correct. They're bi-racial, bi-cultural, bi everything. So the mayor is named Tiffany Wong Gonzalez.
Mm.
She grew up in a mission. Her father was a CIA agent in Asia, Hong Kong, ran off. And so she goes. And so her mother is a fashionista called Gonzalez Gala, dresses in the mission. And so
so all these characters will be in the movie.
Yeah, in fact, I've written 18 novels about San Francisco. Okay, so the first one is called Virtually San Francisco because I co-founded a virtual reality startup 10 years ago in Sweden.
Yeah.
Right, and then so I said, well, how would I use virtual reality for San Francisco? So I actually made up all the characters and I kept them all for all 18 novels. So the mayor's Tiffany Wong Gonzalez. She grew up in the mission. She's a gamer. She's like a bro. She could outgun any bro. And then she doesn't have money, so she goes to the Navy and becomes a top fighter pilot, a Top Gun. We call her Top Gown. And then she becomes like Tom Cruise, and then she's training all the Navy pilots in the Middle East. And then she comes back, goes to Stanford, gets her degree in computer science, and then wins the mayorship like London Breed did. And then her goal is to educate all children in San Francisco, all on tech, AI, VR, and all, so they can get high-paying jobs, or just real life jobs. And then now the fashion, in this case, she's trying to promote what they call AI physicality, which is because AI is eliminating all these office jobs and tech jobs. So now the hot spot is to do things tangible, the real world,
and food,
fashion, healthcare, growing, anything.
Things that you cannot do with the machine.
Right, anything analog.
Anything creative, anything that you cannot duplicate.
Exactly. So right now, the whole discussion about the future of work, that's exactly what everybody's talking about. NVIDIA, Apple, Google, they say, if you get laid off, where's the future jobs? And it's really simple. You go to fashion, you take your AI like we're doing, and you totally reinvent it with, this time, not just old recycled stuff, but you grow your biomaterials. So the hot spot, you know what the hottest degree right now is?
Why?
Horticulture and botany. Because in order to grow all these plants and things for your biomaterials, you have to know how to grow things unless you want to buy it. But then it gets all.
Oh, you become a grower yourself?
Yeah. So there's a lot of biomaterial people now, and they're doing it at home in the backyard.
Yeah.
And they have little farms, and they're growing the materials that they mix
to make the textile.
Right. So they don't have to buy anything because
getting down to earth.
Right. And so, like San Francisco has the scrapyard where you can buy old, plastics
Scraps and stuff,
and textiles and whatever you want. But that's okay. But what they're doing there, it's limited. And now, what people are doing is biodegradable. Now, the really interesting thing is biodegradable fashion. It's fast fashion, but it's all biodegradable. And I said, what's that? So I met a guy and he said, oh, I'm selling biodegradable. I go, what do you mean? He goes, okay, we have these old, we have like t-shirts or things like that, and we put seeds in the pocket. And I go, why would you do that? He goes, well, everything's biodegradable, so you could plant your old t-shirt,
and it grows something.
And you can pick any plant you want. I went, what? And he goes, yeah, so some of these high-end, we put in redwood trees, seeds.
Yeah.
And we plant it, so you can plant.
That's genius.
And I was going, oh my God.
You got to think about those things. I never thought about it.
See, but and so I'm meeting entrepreneurs around San Francisco, and they go, didn't you know that? And I go, I never heard of that before. So I'm always impressed by San Francisco because they're really out of the box and they do new experimental things, right?
Hmm.
And right now I'm watching and they're worried about jobs. So the future, so thank God Mary Lurie is from the Levi
Fashion.
Strauss
Yeah.
fashion
Yeah.
because a lot of people use Levi's for
Yeah.
for their materials because Levi's got a famous brand, everybody knows it. So if you do Levi's with like some kimono silk or whatever you want, it's worth a fortune because it's unique,
Mm.
right? One of a kind. And then
The,
you could brand it with the Levi label and then have your own take on it.
mm.
Just like so the big labels right now, okay, is Levi Strauss, the Giants, the Warriors, and the 49ers because they all sell t-shirts and
The
stuff.
big one.
A lot of people are taking the logos and stuff because they're fans. And I actually, when I go to the games and the celebrations,
And they make something unique.
uh, when I don't know if you've studied, I study fashion, what people wear, and you don't see it in any of the fashion magazines because they always do haute couture, right? But I was went to the when we won the World Series, it was like crazy. Like there's literally 500,000 people. I swear, 2/3 of the people were wearing like Giants fashions,
Hmm.
like big caps and hats and capes and everything. And it was they took all the Giants textiles and products and they just cut and pasted on and they made, and I was just looking at it and I said, this is a fashion show. And then I met like 12 kids and they're all like in a big group. It was like a fashion show. And I was going, what's going on here? And and they had these capes and gowns and everything under the sun and jumpers. And
And that was recently.
that was like when we won the World Series.
Okay.
And then every time San Franciscans love to celebrate, right? And then we don't we like to make it fun.
Yeah.
So I notice I go to the celebrations when we ever win, okay?
Mhm.
Go to the parties in the street, especially, and look at the clothes.
Oh.
And then the hardcore fans, well, anything that's Warriors or Giants or 49ers, and they will spend a fortune on it too.
Mm.
Like so some of the new designers now, they're getting smart. They go, wait a minute, you get the boring old same old t-shirt from the 49ers and the Giants, so we'll just take it and then put it into really cool like Levi's and then really nice gowns or jackets or jumpsuits, right? And we could sell for like $5,000
Mm.
because it's one of a kind.
Oh.
Because
I saw talking about recycling. I saw uh, on LinkedIn they're recycling jeans and they make panels for buildings. But that's just the same idea of recycling. But now they want to recycle people. I mean, you can plant yourself after you die and become a tree or
you could do
something.
that, I suppose. Yeah, with your bio dress,
Yeah,
I suppose you could do that. Yeah, and then
and then become a tree.
become a tree. Now that you're planted with the red tree.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I think that's going to be common in the future, more
So,
common than we think,
oh,
because it's kind of giving back to the earth.
yeah,
We come
what
from
we
the
took
earth,
it.
but we bring something beautiful to the earth, which is okay. I hate to say it, but I'll say it. In the future, I
But
think
silk is biodegradable.
not as I don't know. I think it is because it's
So if
natural.
it's real, only if
Right,
it's real.
right. If it's real, no rayon, no
Yeah,
okay,
no artificial fabric in there.
no, all 100%
Silk is biodegradable.
biodegradable. And so
But if you add spandex and all
no,
those,
then it's just like putting plastics in the ground.
yeah.
So I think people are going to start going 100% biodegradable materials
Hmm.
because
Because the population explosion.
exactly, and then they're also going to take all the used stuff and like because most clothes is biodegradable over time if
Hmm.
it's not plastics.
Hmm.
But that's why you tend toward the net biodegradable materials, biomaterials, because they will degrade. Whereas the trouble with most of the fashion is artificial.
Hmm.
So it's
So this is not a startup for you, it's a movie.
well, I'm a filmmaker
You're also a
and writer.
filmmaker. Okay.
Yes, so
So this is your movie.
so for me, what I would do is a stage play,
Hmm.
which is comedy stage play. It's a fashion show with we call it costume design
And then
in
you
film.
would
Right.
take the play all over the country, you know.
Yeah, you
So,
could show it anywhere you want. Now, what would be more fun though, okay, is to say read the book and do your own fashion show,
oh,
right?
okay.
And challenge everybody. And so San Francisco could do it, or you could do it in Paris or wherever you want.
You gotta have a taste for it to cut fabric and make clothes.
Well, I think a lot of people are beginning to learn how to do it.
Oh,
Because I'll be frank, for a lot of people, there's no there on your computers. I
yeah,
meet a lot of people and they're
yeah.
coming. Whereas if
But it has to fit. I mean,
but a lot of people, I meet a lot of women who learned, and not even men, who learned how to sew and stitch their clothes.
yeah.
And then they're beginning to get very creative and go, hey, I can make my own clothes. And next thing you know, they're doing it and they're selling the stuff
Mm,
because remember, it's unique, one of a kind.
mhm.
See, if it was
But you gotta have the right clientele to buy it.
the one, well, but trust,
Yeah, because
right,
if you
okay.
tell me buy this
Mhm.
gown made with logos from 49ers and all
Oh,
that,
no. Okay.
I wouldn't pay 5,000. You gotta have the right
No,
person
it's
for
called
it.
target marketing. Okay.
You gotta have the rich clients.
Well, I could tell you right off the bat, when you go to the Giants games,
Yeah, there's a few rich people over there, of
there's a
course.
handful of rich people. You don't need 25, you only need one. Because
Oh,
remember, it's unique.
you only need
See,
one.
if you were trying to sell Chinese stuff off 50,000, no, this doesn't work. Because you can get anywhere.
Yeah. You
You
gotta
get-
have something unique. You gotta have the
Okay.
right person.
And that's why it's called fashionistas and fashion design.
Okay.
Because in the future, if you look at it, it's actually the opposite. It's called the scarcity principle in economics.
Okay.
If you go, there's 5 billion made in China, it has
Mhm.
zero value,
Oh,
right? Because it fills the garbage.
everybody needs to get dressed
Well,
though.
everybody looks the same.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then most people don't want to look like a clone.
Yeah.
Okay? But if it's one of a kind, we call those,
You find the
we
market.
call them collector's items
Mhm.
or antique cars or, like vintage clothes. Or, okay, here's the ultimate one. If you buy something that Paul McCartney wore
Mm-hmm.
at a concert,
Mm-hmm.
one of a kind,
Yeah.
it's worth a fortune because it's a celebrity.
It's a
Okay,
celebrity.
now
You
that's
can
why-
auction it. You can auction it.
it's worth a fortune. So that's why a lot of top fashion designers work for celebrities like Taylor Swift or, Madonna, whatever,
They have
because
their own.
they say on
They-
the red carpet, because Hollywood and everybody's looking, they say this is one of a kind, and then
Mhm.
she's going to sell it or auction it off to donate to the poor.
Something like
And
that.
it's worth a fortune
Mm-hmm.
because it's one of a kind and it's a celebrity. So we're going to see the biofashionistas doing more of it. So it's good for the earth,
Mm-hmm.
no trash. Almost, it's all biodegradable, and they're going to plant seeds and plant plants.
But on the other hand, we have to think of dressing the other 5 billion people.
But see, that's okay. Now, that's why you use hemp.
Oh, hemp. Okay.
Okay.
And then it's biodegradable.
Okay, so now we're going to see. Besides, they say I know they don't just smoke it or eat it in cookies; they actually wear it.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, many of these hemp dealers are going out of business
Mm-hmm.
because it's consolidated,
Mm-hmm.
and they haven't woken up yet and said, "Wait a minute, we could just take this and grow it mass production
Mm-hmm.
and for the poor,
Oh, okay.
okay, and make a lot of money just selling for t-shirts,
Millions, yeah.
millions, but it's biodegradable with seeds in it."
Oh,
Okay, so then the world
so there is a
changes.
market
Oh,
for
it's
it.
a huge market.
Okay.
So
And it's
this-
affordable.
Okay, so what's going to happen? I mean, it's already happening now, but it's kind of like it's still early. It's sort of like the first PCs
Mm-hmm.
with Steve Jobs playing with it.
But it's an idea that's taking ground.
Well, the good part is you can make a lot of money if you do it right.
Mm-hmm.
With artistry, uniqueness. But then when you talk about volume, most likely they're using hemp because it grows very fast. And then I've seen all these people now doing hemp designs and bags, and then like they're going to sell it to like Trader Joe's or places like that. The
Mm-hmm.
hemp bags, right?
Yeah.
Huge volume. Costco, huge with
Yeah.
the beautiful
Millions.
customs, right? The first volume people are going to make a fortune off of that.
Oh,
Okay.
could be your startup
Well, I'm not into selling volume
stuff.
stuff.
Okay.
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 I'm more into the storytelling.
Okay.
But in that case, I would show a guy, okay, here's the story. And I would like to meet a real person
Yeah.
and shoot a documentary of a woman who's poor. And she goes, oh, and she starts growing hemp. And it's like,
And
next thing
dressing it and dressing it.
she's the
That's a
first,
good story. That's a good story.
she's worth $100 million and
Yeah.
she did it herself.
Oh, nice, nice.
That's the movie's called Girl Boss.
I want to touch on
Yes.
on the book just for 10 minutes because we're running out of time.
Yes.
So here's your other fiction book.
Nice.
All these are fictional characters that
Right.
you did on AI also.
Yeah, this is the covers all AI.
Okay, so you combining politics with dating?
Dating and art
There's art, politics, and dating.
and fashion.
And how you gonna combine all of
Okay,
this together?
so here's the story. So there's this one woman. Her name is Yumi. She's a computer programmer at Berkeley,
Yeah.
and then she can't get a job because all the layoffs.
Okay.
So she's going, what do I do? I need money to pay for the tuition and my bills and everything. And then they say, why don't you online dating site? Because it's terrible. They're awful.
Oh,
So she says, okay, because all their girlfriends are
let's
complaining.
go. Let's go.
Boyfriends, how they can't get a date and then they meet all these crazy people. So she says, I'll do a dating site, except there's millions of, lots of competition. So she says, how do I do like avatars?
Of each person?
Yeah. And they said, so her friends goes, why don't you do masks? Like, like, Venice.
Nobody
Venetian-
wants to date a fictional person.
No, but they do that now.
You do?
Okay. So a lot of people, they have fake faces.
Oh,
You know what I mean by that? They're not real.
avatars, yeah.
No, they're not even, they're cartoons.
Okay.
So that, I don't know if you've seen it, what's happening in Japan now.
No.
These women are like anime characters,
Oh,
and they're beautiful.
but they're fake.
But no, it's called AI.
It's called AI. Okay.
Yeah, they're doing that already. It's already all over.
So people don't want to date something.
Well, no, what they want to do is create and make people laugh. 'Cause
Oh,
the
it's
number one
for-
rule in dating is you make the other party laugh.
Okay.
Okay, so your
Okay.
humanity.
Okay.
So what she does is okay. So she does. Her father was no mask maker and Bunraku puppeteer. He was doing that in Japantown.
Yeah.
And so her advisor, that guy who was the advisor to the mayor, says, "Why don't you just make with AI? Just make quick, real fast with AI. Just make avatars with masks."
So you made this all with the computer?
Yeah, just did it. It took 10 seconds.
And what did you say to
I
the
just typed
computer
in-
to do it?
I said, okay, we have protesters in front of Sather Gate at Cal,
Oh, okay.
and then they are on the left. There are all these traditional Japanese masks, and then friendly, and then to the right, very angry masks.
Oh,
So,
but we never know who's behind the mask.
no, and so I just said, show the protesters with no detentions, and then in front of the thing, and at 10 seconds they came out, and I went, perfect.
Mm.
It was literally the first one that came out was this. And I went, this is amazing. So what in the story, what happens is that she's doing it just to create a dating site because everybody's using fake avatar faces anyway, anime, whatever in Japan. And she's going to do that. And then she does the no masks. And then the next thing you know, people are using that for dating, but also they're doing it for protests on their social media. And the next thing she knows, they're printing them out.
Yeah.
Right. And then the next thing happens that they start selling them.
Because the protesters, they don't want to be recognized by those
Exactly.
government cameras, right?
Exactly.
So they hide.
They hide. Okay. So that's the first generation of masks. And then they go, wait a minute, we can make money on this. And they go, how? It goes, we'll just print them out because you can go to any 3D printer. I met one in Hayward 300 Materials. And you just give them the file, boom, he just prints it out, right? And that was 10 years ago. So then the protesters go, wait a minute, I need money. So they sell their online, their protest masks, and they print them out, and then they can make money.
And then they can
Make money.
on the 18th of October,
Right.
there's going to be the No King King protests. So
Yes.
a lot of people don't want to
Right.
be recognized on
Right.
camera.
Right. So I went to several of the protests already, and that's where I got the idea.
Really?
I said, wait a minute.
I don't want to be recognized.
No. And so, you have that Guy Fawkes mask in the
Yeah.
past. That's kind of old.
Yeah. Did you
And
wear a mask at the protest?
No, I'm
You
not
don't care.
protesting, so I'm
Oh,
just taking pictures.
Okay, okay.
But
So basically you were there without a mask.
without a mask, because I was just really documenting it, because I was getting ideas for my novel
Mm-hmm.
and films and
Okay.
movies. Because one day I probably will make a movie.
And you'll
About
have the
protesters.
footage. And you'll have the footage. Okay.
I'll have some footage for the documentary. But then the idea is to do a feature movie, okay? Which is really, it's like once upon a time we had ice.
This is a good time to do this movie because it's in the news every day.
Right.
Like I was in a coffee shop and they all from the protest walk in the coffee shop with the mask.
Yes.
And I said, this is like science fiction.
Right.
You don't know
Right.
if you're living in San Francisco or in
Right.
ultra
Okay, so
terrestrial place.
So I work in nonfiction documentaries because I've done that in the past, and business and tech.
Yeah.
A-bomb survivors a long time ago. But I prefer novels because you can do whatever you want. The trouble with nonfiction, it has to be accurate, because if not, you get criticized and shredded.
You don't mix documentary with fiction.
Oh no, yeah, I avoid that because
then people are gonna get confused. What
Well,
is true and what is not true.
they'll say it's fake. You're dishonest.
Okay.
So for me, documentary must document the real truth, real people, real things.
And then this is just your fiction book.
Fiction, you can do whatever you want. Now, that's why we have fiction. Okay, the reason we have fiction is to protect people, innocent people, by not having the real face.
Mm.
And you just make up a composite character. So there's no libel suits, basically, and lawsuits. But more importantly, to protect people who are innocent or just people.
Yeah.
And they're just made up characters.
Okay.
Okay. And then the second is, oftentimes you cannot document a real families because it's dark secrets. But in fiction, you can make it up and play around with it and do whatever you want. But as long as you don't,
You don't mix. Okay.
No, you don't. You try to stay as far away as possible from the original idea, and you mix it up.
Okay.
So if it's a man, you always have an old lady or a child instead of the man, because otherwise they know, oh, that's the story.
Mm.
Okay. So you always do against type. So for example, if there's a murderer and this person's a 6'5" white guy, and who attacks, let's say, somebody, you don't want to do that. You just take a short woman, 70-year-old woman, who's angry at the world, and she does the same thing.
Mm.
But you would never know, because totally different character.
Mm.
That's basically is fiction. Fiction is basically you take the real world and moral truths, but because you have to protect the reputations of other people, you try to go as far away as possible from the.
You should produce
person.
this one first because it's in the news every day.
Mm-hmm.
And then this can be in the later because fashion is fashion. It's
Right,
everywhere.
right.
I mean, it could be some, although it's
Right.
very unique
Well,
idea.
Well, these are going to merge though.
In which way?
Okay, so we already see it in San Francisco. Halloween.
Oh, that's coming up.
Okay. Halloween. Okay, San Francisco, if you walk around town, they have all these fancy clothes and different styles, different ages and everything. And then they have these masks all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And hats and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
So San Francisco already used masks and costumes and Halloween, and I'm beginning to see it during like Tet during the Vietnamese thing. They wear clothes, modern, old, whatever, and then they'll wear the masks and stuff, or like Indonesian, right? You'll see these people wearing these masks and things with their traditional fashions or modern fashions. So people are already doing it at street fairs and festivals. I watch very carefully, and it's never made in traditional haute couture fashion.
Yeah,
It's
but the political ice is now.
Right.
It's now
Right.
in the news.
Okay, so I'm more interested in street fashion, what people really wear every day, not or for festivals, not which is kind of like just for weddings and funerals or whatever. So I look at, and that's Cunningham shot all those photos of street fashion. In fact, Bresson back in Paris, he took all the people back in the day, way back in Paris.
At the Cherry Blossom Festival, they
Right.
wear different
Right.
kind of stuff too.
Right. So I'm actually influenced by the French of Bresson, right? The decisive moment, because I studied photography. I shot a lot in college and high school. And then you have Cunningham in New York, and he really documented everything, all street fashion. And then I'm more interested in San Francisco street fashion because San Francisco is actually really interesting.
It's very creative.
Oh,
Yeah.
very creative.
Yeah.
And what's good about it is we have them coming from different, you have the painting artists who are coming in, putting on the clothes. You have the textile people who are recycling materials and all this. You got the plastics, and then the jewelry people are going crazy. So I'm seeing all this stuff where I go to a lot of the fashion, street fairs.
Yeah.
And this one woman takes all this cut old wire and stuff, and it's gorgeous. Like
She makes it.
like really beautiful. I was going, wow. He goes, oh yeah, it's just throwing away scrap.
Oh wow.
And I go, how do you do it? He goes, well, I'm an artist, and that's all I do. So I see a lot of these people at the street fairs and the booths, and I talk to them a lot. And they say, oh no, artists can't afford to buy things, you know that, right? So we always go to the dumps.
Yeah.
And we always find stuff on the streets or whatever. And so a lot
And
of
they
this,
make stuff with it.
and he said, we have a whole bins full of like
And we
garage.
put them in.
All the stuff is free.
Oh.
And we clean the streets.
Oh.
And then what we do is we take it and turn it into
Yeah, I see the street artists doing
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
your book, your movie, those are gonna be the characters?
Well, I have the family, the 4 daughters and the mom, the 3 daughters,
Oh, okay.
the mom, and then the mayor and the assistant,
Okay.
Steve. And they're all, and then I have
Those
a lot
are
of,
the characters.
those are the main characters. And then I have a lot of other characters. I have like a woman from Iran. I have a guy from NASA, ex-NASA jock. I have all these other characters.
And you're gonna make a movie soon?
I don't know about soon. I think I might try playing with AI first.
Mm.
Because just see what we can do with it, like storyboards. And then just do short things and just play around. Because right now it's still early.
But if you do a movie on ice, then that's where it's gonna hit because
Right.
it's
Exactly.
it's in the news now every
Right,
day.
right.
So,
So-
but once
Right.
we have maybe a new president or anything, it won't be in the news every day.
No. Now, I started in documentary in 1978. So I was writing a novel, unpublished, about the atomic bomb, American visiting. And then Stephen Okazaki, a San Francisco film student, wanted to make, 5-minute video. And I knew the A-bomb survivors in the Bay Area, okay, back then. And I told him to do a 1-hour PBS. So what happened is that he took the 5-minute video. Professor said at Berkeley, please do a 1-hour, we'll air primetime PBS. But he had no money. So all of us business people and teachers, we wrote letters of recommendation. He got $500,000 to shoot it. He didn't know how to tell the story. So I said, use Rashomon.
But you know how to raise funds.
Well,
not for movies.
Well, actually, I'm working with a group to
Raise
raise
money for
money for
movies.
movies, and we call it Magi. It's brand new,
Yeah.
so it's called Media Angels Group Investments, Magi.
And people can put money for your movie, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're posting our projects now, and we're doing small shorts and videos, and then documentaries and games, and then we're going to rich Silicon Valley or Bay Area people to donate money for all these shorts. So, for example, Fiona Ma, she's a senator.
Yeah, I know her.
Last
Yeah.
week, 2 weeks ago in Oakland, we had this group with filmmakers, and then she has friends, philanthropists and donors. So they're looking for Asian American woman filmmakers to shoot documentaries or short films, and then that rich person is going to donate. So there's a lot of people out there who are, very wealthy, or just not even wealthy, but just want to help out in the arts. And so that's where we're trying to get them together to do crowdfunding for the artists. So we have a site, the mediaangelsgroupinvestments.com.
Oh, that's good.
And then what we're going to do is take projects like these
and put them on the screen.
Yeah, get teams together
and produce it.
Raise money and produce it. And it could be, so we're talking to one fellow who's in, what's it, Richard Segovia.
Yeah.
He's the mayor of the Mission.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a beautiful house on 25th and in a Mission, which is, but he was working with the Latino rock people, with Santana, Malo, and all of them. So he's making a documentary about the origins of Latino rock out of the Mission.
Okay.
So he's one person that we're talking to right now. And then I told him, I said, if you want to, besides your documentary, I could work with you and your friends, and we could write a feature movie with the top Latino film.
Because you're a writer, yeah.
And then we have Santana's music.
Nice.
Okay. And we shoot it in the Mission. Right. So we could do things like that. And then I want to have the fashionista stuff, which is really,
okay, so I look
cool.
forward to see those movies if they're gonna be produced.
We're just starting right now. Just
yeah.
Early.
It's good.
Early days.
So your website is what?
The Dreamscape Global.
Dreamscape.
Yeah, like landscape. Dreamscapeglobal.com.
Okay.
And then if you go to publications, you see all my novels.
It's all in there.
They're all listed out there.
All the listed.
With a link to Amazon, because I'm selling on Amazon.
You are selling this on
Amazon. Yeah,
Amazon.
they're all. So they're really print on demand.
Oh, okay.
So you can just order what you want and print it.
Nice.
So it's dreamscapeglobal.com. And my goal is, because I'm a writer,
Producer,
and I'm interested in fashion, and then I'm very interested in helping young people figure out what is the future for your careers, preferably creative careers.
Yeah.
And how can you earn a living, a decent living, doing your passion? And fashion is going to be big. Because remember, we're not competing against China. We're doing unique, one-of-a-kind fashions that, if you do it right, I mean, you sell for $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 each.
You can do a career out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm hoping that there'll be a lot of young people who said, or even older people, it doesn't matter how, you could be 80, 90 years old.
And still produce a nice piece of art, yeah.
Because all you need is creativity, cheap materials, free materials.
And you put the mask on.
And you can put the mask on, and then
you have a name.
And then would you bring us the documentary, you shoot it.
Yeah.
And then if it's really good story, you make it into a motion picture movie. Okay.
The whole thing, everybody can do what you do. Okay.
Yeah, because we just call it costume design.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, well, thank you. I wish I could talk another hour with you, but we ran out of time. Yes. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
So, looks like when I met you on the street, I didn't think it was a novel. I thought it was a real startup. So now you clarified it for me.
It could be a startup.
Yeah, it could be where you recruit designers.
Well, one possibility is maybe some interested people want to start it. I'd say, sure. Why don't you take the idea?
Yeah.
And then I'll help you guys get going and get funded and go.
Yeah. So it's a great, it's so many things come out of it. So thank you so much. And I look forward maybe to bump into you in 5 years in the street of San Francisco. Yes. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Very good. So, and then you may keep these.